Everyone, thanks for watching. Today is going to be kind of like a Q&A, just kind of chit-chat video. I've been asking you guys what you want to see, and probably the most requested video that I'm getting lately and the most requested question that is being asked is, what do I do? Which is, it's funny for me when I say that out loud, but I totally get it because I understand that, you know, what I say and what I post on social media, that people are probably like, okay, what is it that you do again? And how do you do everything? How did you get started? How I organize my day is a really big question that I get asked, kind of how I juggle all of the different things that I do. And those are great questions, and I'm always so happy to answer them. And sometimes I try to write back and respond to like the individual emails that come in, or the tweets that I get, or the Instagram questions that come in, but I thought maybe I could just do this video and kind of put it out there and explain everything. So what I decided to do was kind of just take you through my day, because I have my day kind of broken down into the different jobs that I do. And so I thought maybe if I could just give you all a timeline of my day, then I could explain each job that I do as I'm explaining that part of my day, and then hopefully give a little bit of like time management and organization tips along the way, ones that I find have worked really well for me solely in freelance. And so in freelance and from working from home, you really do need to have that motivation. You need to have good time organization skills. In the years that I've been doing this, I've kind of come up with a few things that work really well for me, and I hope to pass those along to those of you who are requesting them. So I really hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's get to my day. So starting out in the morning, another question that I honestly really do get asked a lot is what time I wake up and like what time I go to bed, which I find really funny. And honestly, that just varies so much, especially what time I go to bed. It just depends on where I'm at in my jobs right then, where I'm at my to-do list, how many emails I'm getting answered. Sometimes I'm able to go to bed with my husband, which is amazing, but he usually goes to bed at like 9 o'clock at night because he gets up really early to go to work, and sometimes that just is not feasible to me. Sometimes I try to get up there at 10. I don't go to bed until 11 o'clock, midnight, and sometimes it's even later, which I try not to pull those really late nights a lot, because I honestly, I know how important sleep is to your health, and just how important it is to refresh yourself, refresh not only your body but also your mind. I know that you really need that. So I do try not to have those nights a lot, because I tend to wake up anywhere between 6:30 in the morning, and so, you know, if I'm going to bed at 1 o'clock and waking up at 6:30, that is not enough sleep. So try not to pull those a lot. So on average, I'd say usually between 10 and 11 o'clock is a normal time that I would go to bed. That's what I really, really strive for. But, you know, there are those crazy nights. And then for the mornings, I wake up either at 6:30, or the very latest I will let myself ever sleep is 8 o'clock. And a lot of those 8 o'clock days happen when I've pulled a big night before, or maybe we've been out. My husband does play ball, so some nights we're at the ball field really late, and then I have to come home and still continue to work, because then I've lost those hours being at the ball field. So a lot of times Thursdays are a really rough day for me because he plays on Wednesday nights. So sometimes on Thursdays I'll allow myself like an extra half hour of sleep, but I can't let myself go past 8 o'clock, which there is a reason for that I will get to. But so those are usually the hours. I would say typically I'm up at 7 o'clock is usually like the average time that I'm awake and I start my day. In the morning, you know, I just do like the regular things that you do in the morning. I always wash my face in the morning, always, always, always. I'm really big on skincare, so always make sure to, you know, wash my face and brush my teeth. I let my dog outside, I feed her, and all those normal things. And then I sit down to my computer. The very first thing that I do when I get up is I check my emails. When I log off my computer the night before, I make sure that I have answered all of my emails up until 5 p.m. my time, which is CST time, Central Time. I make sure that I get to 5 p.m. because I just think that's professional. I think if I was in an office, I wouldn't want to leave until I had my emails for the day answered, and that's how I try to strive to be at home too. I just make sure I get those 5 p.m. emails answered. But then when I wake up the next morning, the first thing that I want to do is get those other emails answered that have come in past 5 o'clock. And I work in Microsoft Outlook, so I can see it very clearly on my screen. These are the ones that came in yesterday, and these are the emails that have come in so far this morning. So I want to get to all of the emails that came in the day before. Once I do that, then I just like feel better about the day, like I can actually start working. And then from there, I get online and I go to, you know, different websites that I need to look at. Every morning, I like to check my bank accounts. I like to look at my credit cards. I'm very up to date on what happens with my financials. I'm one who will only check their bank account like once a week or their credit cards once a week. Like I look every single day just to make sure everything looks in line and we're keeping up on the bills and all that. So that's what I do first thing. I look at the news. A lot of times, you know, I have so many email accounts, you guys, but you know, I check all my Gmail accounts. I usually look at some sort of celebrity page like people.com or Us Magazine, see what's going on. I look at ESPN. It's now baseball season. I go to the Cubs website. I read about what happened at the game. You know, I do all that. I check my Twitter feed. I try to respond to everyone that has come in on Twitter. I check my stat counts for all of my websites. I do that every single day. Check my stat counts, see where we are, see where new traffic is coming in from. I think that's really important when you run websites, is to understand where your traffic is coming from. Just the other day, a website, it was called New in Books, chose Chick Lit Plus as one of their top 5 women's fiction bloggers, and I had no idea it even happened. I don't know if they tagged me on Twitter and I just missed it or what, but I was seeing all this traffic coming in from this newinbooks.com, and I thought, well, what the heck is that? And I clicked on the link, and you know, here was this wonderful article choosing Chick Lit Plus as, you know, to be featured, and I was like, oh, okay. I would have never have known that if I didn't have my stat counter working for me. Amazon, every morning I look at book ranks for all of the books that I work on. I look at our daily reports for Marching Ink and our book sales. And I think that's all I do in the morning. So those are all like my websites that I look at, that I go through, keep up on the world, you know, all that good stuff. And then starts like job number 1, I guess. I don't know, maybe that I do, but I run CLP Blog Tours, and this is a virtual blog tour company. A blog tour is basically what I do is I find book bloggers to feature authors and their books on their websites. So an author will come to me and say they want to set up a book blitz package. And so what I do is I make a sign-up sheet on Chick Lit Plus. I say, here's this author and this is her book, this is the genre of it, this is the time frame that we're looking for, and we want bloggers to post reviews of the book, interviews with the author, share an excerpt from the book, and book bloggers will sign up to be a part of that. They'll either get a review copy, they'll give me their interview questions for authors, and I set this whole thing up. Sometimes a book tour can last anywhere from 1 week to 4 weeks. And during that time, an author just gets like more publicity and more press for their book. They're also making connections with book bloggers. They're getting more reviews for their book. And I am kind of like the middleman in everything. I'm setting everything up. I'm making sure everything goes smoothly. I'm talking to the bloggers. I'm making sure they're on board and they know what day they're posting and they know what to post. And I'm sending media kits out. And CLP Blog Tours honestly keeps me so busy. I started it... When did I start CLP Blog Tours? I think maybe I started it like the very end of 2011. I think like the first blog tour ran in like an October or November month, like a later month in the year. But it was in 2011, and I kind of started it just because I was already building so many connections with book bloggers, and I thought, well, what can I do with all of these, you know, connections that I have? And book bloggers or book tours were honestly not really around a lot then. There was a few like bigger name ones that were super expensive, and you know, I'm on the indie side of books, and there wasn't a lot for the indie authors out there that they could afford. It is expensive being an indie author, and we have to put a lot of our own money, and a lot of times we don't see that back. And so I thought I would be helping to fill a void there, and I never imagined where CLP Blog Tours would go. I mean, I don't even know. We've done hundreds and hundreds of blog tours, and we're always adding new book bloggers, and it's amazing. And now there are so many blog tour companies out there, so many that specialize in different genres, that CLP Blog Tours is still going strong, and I'm so thankful for that. And a lot of it is basically just word of mouth from other authors saying, you know, I had a good experience with Samantha at CLP Blog Tours, and I would recommend her. And that's how I keep getting more and more authors. And I'm so grateful for it, and I absolutely love that part of my job. But so what I do in the morning, and this is the reason why I make sure that like I don't get to sleep in past 8 a.m. is because those authors, when they are on blog tours, they look in the morning. They look for those posts to go up and they look for those reviews because they want to see them and they want to share them, and I need to get in there and get on my computer early enough and make sure that I'm putting their links on their tour page and I'm tweeting out to the world and putting on Facebook and saying, here, go to this book blog. They have a great review for such and such book today. So that's kind of the very first thing that I do is I just make sure all the bloggers are posting on time. It's honestly, sometimes with CLP Blog Tours, I feel like I'm a teacher and or like a principal, and I'm always having to like stand over my bloggers like, hello, 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 where's your post? I need you to post today. And I send like 15 emails a day. Oh my gosh, it's you guys. That can take a lot of time in the morning, just making sure everything is going smoothly, making sure I have everything linked, that bloggers are talking about it, that authors are aware that they are coming in, that I'm posting on social media. So that's kind of like my first chunk of my morning is focused on blog tours. And then I just kind of move on to my to-do list. I make my to-do list the night before. And when I say I make my to-do list, I don't make some crazy to-do list. No, my to-do list, honestly, you guys, is so very simple because I need my to-do list to be achievable. My biggest piece of advice if you make a to-do list is to make sure you're being reasonable with it. Yes, you want your to-do list to be able to push you to get something done, but if you put all these crazy things on there that you know that you're not going to be able to get done, your to-do list is just going to frustrate you, and pretty soon you're just going to be like, no, I'm not making a to-do list anymore. And so my to-do lists are very short and to the point, and they're what I absolutely need to get done. And my to-do list, I break down into different sections, and the first part that I focus on is usually my freelance work. And this is, am I editing for anyone right now, or am I proofreading for anyone right now, or a manuscript critique for anyone right now. Those are the freelance services that I offer through Chicklet Plus. And I also do work with Booktrope Publishing, and I do a lot of proofreading for them. So I kind of put all of that together in one. And so there really is never a time where I'm not proofreading anything, whether it be for a freelance client or whether it be for a Booktrope client. I'm pretty much always proofreading. So proofreading is the very first thing on my list. Typically, I will say that I want to proofread 50 pages a day. 50 pages a day to me is attainable. Sometimes I can get more pages done. Sometimes I can't get 50 pages done. Some days I'm just having such a busy day, I just can't do it. But 50 pages on average for me is a goal that I know that I can make along with everything else that I need to get done that day. I think that I can proofread 50 pages. So that is usually always the number one thing on my to-do list is my proofreading. And then I move on to Marching Ink. And what do I need to get done for Marching Ink? Marching Ink is the publishing company that I own and that I started in 2011. We have published, I think we're at 9 books right now. We have 1 book that is only in audio, and then the other 9 books are the more traditional books where we have the hard copies and the ebooks and also audiobooks of the majority of them. But I am the owner of Marching Ink, and we have 3 published novels from me, and then I also have 3 other authors that I've published their novels for, and then I also have a 4th one that we do just her audiobook. She's a Canadian author, and the website for audiobooks is not open yet to Canadian authors, so Marching Ink bought her audio rights and we publish her audiobooks. So you can go to marchingink.com and all the books that we publish are on there. But I absolutely love my job with Marching Ink. This is my career. This is what I take so seriously because it's not something that I'm just doing for me. These other authors are entrusting me with their books, and they're trusting me to produce the best books that we can, and then they're trusting me to also market. You know, I don't do everything on my own, and my authors are so amazing that they understand what it means to be an author these days, that they know that you have to be on social media. The authors have to be on social media and talking to people. But, you know, a lot of it reflects back on me because this is my company. My name is attached to it. But then my publishing company is Marching Ink. You know, that has my name on it, and that means a lot to me. I don't want to just put out any book that comes across to me. I want to really have faith in it. I want to believe in it, and I want to love it. And I can say with 100% of my heart that all of the books that we have with Marching Ink are that way. I read them before I offer a contract. I do the editing for them myself. You know, editing is something that I offer in freelance, but I'm the editor on all the Marching Ink books, and I have to tell the authors, you know, I think maybe we should change this scene. I think we should add this in. You know, that's my job. My job is to make that book the best that we can get. I do like a round of proofreading for each book, but we have a proofreader that I send the books out to when we get to that side, and we have an outside cover designer that makes our professional covers. And I love Marching Ink so much. Owning Marching Ink and starting Marching Ink has literally changed my life. I mean, it really has. And so I'm just very grateful that I get to do something like this and call it a career, and to be able to, I'm getting emotional already in this video. That's not good. How many minutes are we in? But so I just feel very grateful for it. But that is the next item on my to-do list, is what do I need to do right now for Marching Ink? Do we have a book in pre-publication? Do we have a book entering publication? Do we have a book right post-publication, and we're doing all this marketing? Is there a marketing plan I need to work on? Am I editing a book right now? Do I need to be reading a query? What is it that I need to be doing for Marching Ink? Whatever it is that I need to do, that goes on my to-do list next. Now, as I'm filming this video, Marching Ink is getting ready to release my 4th book. So right now what I'm doing is, my book was just with the proofreader. She sent it back to me with her suggestions and changes, and I went through them. And then what I'm doing now is I'm doing a final proof. I'm just kind of looking at it one more time. I'm making sure I addressed all her comments. I'm just giving it a final clean proofread, because next it's going to go to the formatter, and it's going to be formatted for paperbacks and for ebooks. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. That's what I'm doing every day. And we just got 2 new queries that I've been working on with our fabulous authors that are already on board, Kat Lavoie and Laura Chapman. These ladies are so amazing, and they have new books coming out. So right now I'm also working on their new books with them and getting their contracts ready and starting the editing portion of their books. So stay tuned, because Marching Ink is going to be having some fantastic books put out this year, and I couldn't be more excited. The next thing that I have on my to-do list is blog tours. And what I'm doing when I'm working on blog tours like this is I'm seeing what signups need to go out. I'm looking over the signups and seeing, you know, do I need to put out a blast I have a book blogger mailing list, and a sign up has been out on chicletplus.com for so long, then I will also put it in to a mailing list to all of those bloggers saying, hey, this is a sign up that I'm running for right now. We also have these signups going on, and I just alert those book bloggers that maybe they haven't seen the post on social media or on the website. I'm saying, hey, if you want to sign up for it, please do. I'm doing things like invoicing authors. I'm putting their tour pages together. You can go to clpblogtours.com and see what a tour page looks like. I'm making graphics for them, making media kits for them, which includes like the blurb of the book, the author bio, social media links, buy links, photos, trailers, anything that an author wants on their tour page. I'm putting those together. I'm sending them to the bloggers that are involved in the blog tour. So there's a lot. Blog tours really do take a lot of my time, but it's just, I mean, I don't take any of my jobs not seriously, so I feel like I'm going to say with everything I talk about, I'm like, I take this really seriously, but I do. I take everything I do very seriously. But these authors are trusting me with a big part of their marketing plan. You know, indie authors, like, once again, like I said, we don't have a lot of money to spend on our marketing. So when you are paying someone to put something like a blog tour together for them, they really want good things to happen, and I want good things to happen for them, of course. And so it takes me a while to do blog tours. There's a lot of hours that get put into them, but I absolutely love it. So, I mean, I can't complain at all. So those are always the 3 things that are like for sure on my to-do list. These are the things that I absolutely have to get done. And I know you guys might be thinking, your to-do list is 3 items long. Like, what else do you do? But again, my to-do list is things that absolutely have to be done and also are attainable for me to do. So I have like a secondary to-do list, but this is my main to-do list. These are my things that I got to get done. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Moving on into the afternoon, at some point in there, I take my dog on a walk. It's now summer, it's warm out, it's nice out. We go for walks. Some try to eat lunch every day, which might sound odd, but some days it's just so busy, I'll just like eat some fruit at my desk or a shake or something. Try not to do that because I know that is not good for you. So I try to make sure I'm eating like a good lunch every day, but again, every days are different. In the afternoon, what I do then is I really focus on my to-do list. I try to get those proofreading pages done that I need to do, get caught up with Marching Ink, get the blog tours caught up, make sure everything is looking good. A lot of times my to-do list is kind of spread throughout the day. So also in the afternoons, while I'm still working away on that to-do list, I'm multitasking, and I like to check different websites again throughout the day, again, just to keep up with what's going on in life. I usually look at the news again, see what's going on. I check my email accounts, my Gmail accounts, see what's going on. I usually look on ESPN again, see what's happening, things like that. Go to Twitter, see who's saying things. I check out my Instagram, try to post new pictures on Instagram and all that. Again, in the afternoon, I will work on blog tours again. And so first thing in the morning when I'm putting together the blog tours, I'm posting about it on social media. I try to do this again like towards late afternoon, and I'm posting directly to those bloggers' posts that have come in today to help drive traffic to their posts, so other people on social media are seeing that, reading the reviews, etc. So I'm going through that, and then also at the same time I'm looking at the schedule for the next day with blog tours, and I email out reminders to bloggers saying, hey, don't forget you have a blog post coming up tomorrow. Please let me know, if you need anything, if you didn't get anything, if you have any questions, etc. So kind of wrap up the blog tours that I'm doing as well. Today I'm trying to check my emails and keep up on my emails, so again, when I'm shutting down at night, it's not hard for me to reach that 5 p.m. threshold. So answering emails as they come in. A lot of times in the afternoon, this is when I try to work on my Booktrope side of my job. So with Booktrope Publishing, this is kind of like a hybrid publisher, and I've been working with them for over a year. I do proofreading for them, but I also am what's called a book marketing manager, and basically I do marketing for certain authors. And to their team as someone who will lead the way in their marketing. I put together things like blog tours, I find book reviewers for them, I schedule their price promotions, I just, whatever it is that's good for marketing with a book, I try to stay on top of that for these authors, and that takes a lot of my time, you guys. It takes a lot of time, and sometimes it can be kind of frustrating to work in marketing, to be really honest with you, because the book industry changes like literally every day. There is our marketing plans, not only for Booktrope, but especially for Marching Ink. I look at the marketing plans that we had for Laura's book, and that she released The Marrying Type, and I'm working on the marketing plan for my next book, Up to I Do, which is hopefully releasing here shortly. And they are so different because things are always changing, new things are popping up. Amazon always has us on our toes with what they're doing next. So it can be really hard to be in marketing because you feel like you can never relax and take a break and be like, okay, I did my job. It's like, no, now something new is happening and I have to know it's just, oh my gosh, you guys, it's really crazy. But so that takes a big chunk of my afternoon. I'm just checking in with my authors, if there's any books that are close to publication or right around publication. It's usually a really busy time getting their marketing plan together, making sure everything goes smoothly. And so that's a big part of my afternoon. Also during the afternoon, I try really hard to like tidy up the house, and sometimes that means like doing the dishes, putting dishes away that were in the dishwasher, just kind of like cleaning up, tidying the room, doing laundry, anything like that I can to help, because sometimes I feel really guilty working from home and not doing a lot around the house. I hate that my husband has to come home from his job and there's dishes in the sink, or there's dishes on the counter, or like I didn't put away the peanut butter after giving the dog a treat or something like that. Like, it really bothers me because sometimes working for yourself and working from home can be almost like detrimental, because you feel like you're not doing enough and you feel like you should be able to do it all because you're just sitting at home. But you're not sitting at home, you're working, and you're working really hard, and you don't get a lot of breaks. And especially when it's something that you love doing, like I love everything that I do, it doesn't feel like you're working. So I can work for 6 hours straight and look up and be like, oh, I haven't had anything to eat yet today, like I should probably eat something, because it's not where I'm at a job that I don't like and I'm staring at the clock like, oh my gosh, is this day over yet? Is it time? Okay, it's only 10 o'clock, but I can probably eat lunch right now, right? Because I'm really bored. Like, it's not like that. So it's easy to get really caught up and then forget, like, oh, I forgot to put my breakfast dishes away or whatever. So I try to have that in there somewhere. Some days where I'm just not as busy. I'm like, I can clean the bathroom, or I can reorganize the closet, or I can like do more things, and those are always really exciting days to me. Also, a lot of times in the afternoon I will take Aries for a second walk. That is my dog. Usually in the afternoon before Mitch gets home, that's my husband, I try to take her for another walk, just because sometimes we go out for dinner or we'll have plans with friends, and I try to get her at least one more walk in. So maybe if we do leave after he gets home from work, she's not as like high energy. She's a 1.5-year-old high energy breed Vizsla, so being able to give her walks is just like a great thing for us, and I try to take that on, since it's nice to stand up and get a break from your computer, get a break from my eyes from staring at the computer all day. So I will usually do that in the late afternoon as well. And late afternoon is also when I work on things like YouTube now. I either record videos, I edit videos, I'm putting together the like text for the description box, doing that, watching playbacks, trimming the videos, you know, all those things. Like I try to do this in the afternoon as well. And also just chugging along my to-do list, keep proofreading my pages, checking out what's going on, you know, things like that. So it is like a big chunk of my afternoon. Sometimes if there are certain days where like we need to go to the grocery store, or, you know, pick up something at a store, usually I will do this in the afternoons. Again, it's because I know a lot of nights that I will be able to work, and it's easier to go to like a grocery store or a mall during a day when it's not so busy at night. And then also that way it's something that me and my husband don't have to do, and we can enjoy more time either together at the house with the dog, or we can be like going somewhere fun instead of going somewhere like where we have to go type of thing. So if I am able to do that during the day, I will. You know, those days are like few and far between, because we don't need something from a store every single day, but a lot of times if we do, I will take the afternoon to do that. Afternoon is also when I take a lot of phone calls. I do have a lot of calls with either authors from Booktrope, with someone from Booktrope staff, or one of my Marching Ink authors, or just someone. Usually afternoons is when I will schedule those phone calls. So that's kind of my afternoon, and then let's move into the evening. And then into the evening, you know, my nights are always very different, and it just depends. Like some nights we go to the ball fields and my husband has a game. Some nights we go out with friends. Some nights me and my husband go out for dinner. You know, sometimes we're running errands together, or we're going shopping together. But a lot of the nights, we really are homebodies. A lot of the nights find us at home, hanging out with our dog. You know, a lot of times if there's times where Mitch wants to unwind after his day of work, and he usually does that by, you know, playing Xbox, watching sports. He really enjoys music, so he's watching music videos, or, you know, things like that. And I am able to go into my office and catch up on work. I'm making sure that my emails are answered. I'm looking at for blog tours the next day if I'm getting any responses from book bloggers that are like, hey, I'm missing an expert, or, you know, I need something else. I need the media kit for my posting tomorrow. I'm making sure everything is good to go on that. I'm finishing up my to-do list. Hopefully by this time I have finished proofreading. Proofreading takes me a long time. 50 pages is kind of a lot to read, especially when I have so many other things going on, but I'm trying to wrap up the proofreading and make sure everything goes okay. And then honestly, if I have more time at night, I will try to proofread a few more pages, just to like try to keep me ahead of the schedule. And then I always have another to-do list, and it's just kind of like, have I been proofreading? Yes. Have I worked on Marching Ink? Yes. Have I worked on blog tours? Yes. Have I worked on Booktrope? Worked on Booktrope, and then it goes into, you know, because I run Chicklet Plus, which Chicklet Plus is kind of like what started all of this, and it's my book blog. You can go to chickletplus.com, the links are below, but this is what started everything. It's a review blog. We feature authors. It started all of this, and so I am trying to pre-schedule posts for Chicklet Plus. I'm checking in with my review team. Did you get your copies? Do you have your review ready? I'm writing my book reviews for the books that I'm reading. I'm putting those posts together, like the in my mailbox posts, or if we have an author interview coming up, or if we have a giveaway coming up. You know, once I get tonight, I'm trying to make sure all those posts are ready to go, and Chicklet Plus is on the up and up, and I'm answering emails and all that fun stuff. And I also run an Instagram account with my best friend, and it's called The Cheeky Chicks. I know there's a link in the down bar below as well to follow us on Instagram, but at night is usually when I practice yoga, and when I look at the next day, I see what yoga poses I have to do, because we often join yoga Instagram challenges, and we have to like do a daily pose every day. So I'm often looking at what pose I need to do and taking the pictures for it so I have it ready to go for the next day. I like to practice yoga at night because it's kind of like a cool down time, and that's what I do at night. Basically, it's just like a big wrap up at night. I'm making sure everything's good to go for the next day. I'm making sure those emails are answered, and I'm making sure my to-do list is completely done. And of course, you know, there are things that I don't really get to schedule, and that's things like reading. I'm reading all day long. So, you know, of course, I don't have any, it's like, oh, in the afternoon I make sure I read for 30 minutes. Like, that just doesn't work. But a lot of times, like, I read when I eat lunch. If I'm sitting at the table eating a sandwich, I don't really ever turn the TV on during the day, unless sometimes if there's like a baseball game on during the day. I'm a Cubs fan, I'll watch a game. But a lot of times if I'm sitting outside and enjoying the sun and letting my dog be in the pool, I'm sitting on the deck reading a book, you know. So I will read whenever I am able to. At night, I like to catch up with other people's YouTube videos and watch their videos and comment on their videos, because I know that's a really big thing to do. Always keeping up on social media. So, I mean, that's kind of my night. I get ready for bed. I always wash my face at night, type of thing. So those are pretty much my days. I hope this helped. I hope it helped you understand what it is that I do and how I do everything in a day. That's kind of my days. And so next I'm just going to kind of move on into a little bit of the time management tips and just kind of give a recap of what exactly all the different jobs that I hold do. So kind of like give you a bulleted list of what it is I do and those time management tips that I've kind of talked about along the way, just to recap this video. Okay, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helped answer a few questions about me and what it is that I do. But just to kind of give a recap, a few of the different jobs that I do, you know, Chicklet Plus is one of my main ones, my book blog that started it all for me, making sure that the book reviews are going up on time, the authors are being featured, giveaways are being held, our social media is being kept up with. I'm always on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and Pinterest and YouTube all throughout the day. CLP Blog Tours is something that keeps me super busy, and this is the blog tour company that I run, marketing blasts for authors and their books, and just keeping in touch with book bloggers and the authors and making sure everything's going smoothly, keeping the website up to date, creating the tour pages, putting the links out there to all the posts that are coming in. This is a big thing that I do, which is like the proofreading and the editing and the manuscript critiques, and also we do freelance marketing such as CLP Blog Tours, but we also do a little bit more. So that's a big thing that keeps me busy throughout the day, making sure I'm staying up to date on that. Of course, Marching Ink is such a big thing, which, you know, that's another one of my jobs is I am an author. I do write books. Right now, I'm in the process of putting my book out, which should be out in the next month or so. So I'm going through the final proofreads, finalizing the cover. It's going to go into formatting soon. I'm creating the marketing plan for it, but then I'm also working on the next Marching Ink books that are going to be coming out here shortly. We're starting the editing process on a few of those. So Marching Ink and just myself being an author is a really big thing. I always try to be on social media. I have a Facebook and a Twitter page for my author persona only, which is different from Chicklet Plus. I have two separate accounts for them. We also have a Marching Ink website and Facebook page solely for Marching Ink as well. So just kind of keeping up to date on all of those social media pages and making sure that I'm talking to you as much as I can, keeping you up to date. And then also writing and plotting and meeting my characters and all that fun stuff. Then I do freelance with Booktrope publishing, which I do a lot of proofreading for, and I also do a lot of marketing for with the authors, and that is a huge job and it keeps me so busy, and I have a lot of people that rely on me to always make sure that I'm staying up to date on that. Those are kind of my main jobs. You know, now I'm here on YouTube, so I'm working on that every single day, whether it is finding other YouTube pages to connect with, editing YouTube videos, recording the YouTube videos, just talking on social media about new videos that I'm putting out, asking you guys what videos you want to see. Instagram is a big thing because I do run the Cheeky Chicks with my friend, and we are always on Instagram posting our yoga pictures and, you know, fitness tips and motivation. As being a normal working person and keeping up with all of my different email accounts and making sure I answer my emails, making sure I'm on social media. things like that, but then also just being a normal person, hanging out with my friends and being with my husband and just trying to live life as best as I can. Those are my days. Management tips that I hope you kind of took away. The big thing is your to-do list is making sure, I highly recommend that you keep a to-do list, but make sure that you keep it attainable. Don't try to set all these crazy goals for yourself in a day or a week or a month when you know that you realistically might not be able to achieve them. Yes, we want to push ourselves, and yes, we want to strive to always be doing better, but don't make it where it's so hard that you're not going to be able to do it and you're just going to get frustrated with it. So that's a big tip throughout the day. Motivated, I think, is just such a huge thing. You do need to be self-motivated to work from home, and some people simply aren't, and that's okay. If you are someone who does want to work from home, you know, your self-motivation is really huge. You need to make sure that you're not just slouching around all day, but the way that I do that is I have my to-do list because those keep me on track, and I want to be able by the end of the night to be able to scratch all those things off my to-do list, and that's not going to work if I'm just hanging out watching my TV and playing with my dog. So that is a really big thing. What kind of keeps me motivated too is to like give myself little deadlines throughout the day. So I'll wake up in the morning and I'll be like, okay, so first thing I need to do is answer all these emails that came in last night. Before I can start item 1 on my to-do list, I have to get these emails done, or else I can't start item number 1. And if I can't start item number 1, I can't start item number 2 because I want that to be done before I can start item number 2. So that keeps me on track. You know, I have to get this done in order to move to this, in order to move to this, in order for me to complete my day. Does that make sense? That kind of is what keeps me on track. So I give myself these little deadlines throughout the day. And, you know, if I'm going to do something like watch YouTube videos, which I know might sound like it's really fun, but it's for me to get ideas, it's for me to find people, and it's for me to stay connected with other people. So it might sound like it's a really good time, but honestly, it really is work. And so I'll say, okay, I have 30 minutes for YouTube, and I will spend 30 minutes on YouTube. And it's honestly the same thing with reading. You know, reading honestly is a part of my job. I do the book reviews, but I'm also a lot of times I'm reading query letters, or I'm reading books that I'm going to be working on the marketing for. And, you know, of course I have to read those books because I have to understand how to market the book. But I can't just read all day, even though that might sound like a lot of fun. Reading is a part of my job. So if I'm going to eat lunch, you know, I'll say, okay, I can read this book during my lunch. Or if I'm like, okay, I really need to get this book read today, I'll carve out little sections of my time where I'll say, okay, maybe I need to paint my nails right now. So I'm going to paint my nails, and while they dry, I'm going to give myself 25 minutes or whatever it is to read, because, you know, now I can't type on my computer, my nails are wet, so what am I going to do? I'm going to read. I'm not going to go watch TV, I'm going to read. So that is another thing that helps me keep on track and keep throughout the day. Also, I'm a big fan of calendars. I always have my calendars to help keep me on track. Calendars are really a big part of keeping me on schedule, because I'll say, you know, by Friday, I'll say I need to have every single YouTube video that I want to go up next week. I have to have all of those recorded. So having my little note on my calendar that says, hey, you need to get this done. I'm like, okay, I need to get this done because I need to make sure I can check this off my calendar. I'm really big at being able to check things off my list. So keep putting things on my calendar, whether it's deadlines or anything like that. That is such a huge help for me. Those are just a few of my time management tips that I can give, but honestly, everyone works so different. You know, some people want to have those big, like, fancy planners to be able to plan their day in, and that's fantastic. If that's what you need, then that's what you need. And honestly, my biggest piece of advice is figure out what it is that works for you. Some people are able to have, you know, 10 shorter items on their to-do list, and they want to get those 10 things done. That's perfect. Some people want to have larger items, but a smaller quantity of them, and that's me, on their to-do list. And, you know, if that's you, then that's wonderful too. So honestly, you just need to figure it out, what it is that helps your day run smoothly, and then stick to it. If you find something that works for you, don't try to change it because someone else is telling you, hey, this is what I do. If that works for you, then you do it. Then you're doing a great job. Those are just a few of my tips and tricks that I can offer you guys. I really hope I helped answer your question of what it is that I do and what it is that I do all day. You know, every single day is different, but I love everything that I do. I love all of the jobs that I hold. I love all of the hats that I wear, and this is something that I'm so passionate about. I feel so grateful that I'm able to work out of my home and that I'm able to be around our dog all day, which might sound weird, but it's really nice that we don't have to kennel a high energy dog for, 8 to 10 hours a day while me and my husband are both at work. Of course it's things like gas that I don't have to be spending to drive to work, but it's also like clothes. I don't have to worry about what I'm wearing to work or buying new clothes because it doesn't matter what I wear. Right now, you guys, I have sweatpants on. Like, I have a nice shirt on, but I have a sports bra underneath and then sweatpants on. But that's something really nice I don't have to worry about. Even something like food. When I would work at an office, you have to think about what is it that you're bringing for breakfast? What is it that you're bringing for lunch? And you have to pre-plan those things. I just feel really grateful for what it is that I'm able to do. A lot of people will ask me, how are you able to be an author and work full-time from home? And my response is, I'm not just an author. I do so many more things, and that's what allows me to be able to do this full-time. If I was only doing one piece of what I'm doing, I wouldn't be able to do this full-time. It wouldn't keep me busy enough, and I feel like I would be bored, but of course financially I wouldn't be able to do it. But if you put everything together, it keeps me happy, it keeps me fulfilled, and it does help keep us financially stable. So that helps a lot as well. Wrap up this video because I'm sure I've just been like rambling like a fool and I have no idea if you guys are even paying attention anymore, but I really hope this video helped answer that big old question of what the heck does Samantha March do all day and what it is that she does in general. So I hope this video helped. If you do have any further questions, please just comment below and let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If I get a lot of the same questions, I can do another video like this, just talking with you guys and filling you in. But again, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please like this so I know that you did, and subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you guys in my next video. Bye.